show this to you. So on a new layer that you have, just go ahead and place the graphic, or you can actually drag and drop this on there. This is the keychain to place it on. Whether you drag it, just hold the, you won't have to hold the shift key, but this is the initial graphic that you have. Might have some wording on it, but it's just giving you the side piece to that. And just double clicking the name, giving it the title of Keychain. Just go ahead and lock the image on there. And this part, you can dim it down so you can see through the selection and just create a new layer to work above it. And just kind of move things around so you can zoom into this part just holding the keystroke or the magnifying glass. And you're going to take the ellipse tool and try to build the chain itself. So just taking a stroke with no fill, making the circle with the shift key and the space bar to position it, and that'll give you the first segment to it. Don't need to change any of the stroke, just kind of get the initial selection to it. Taking the line segment tool, you can use the pen tool, but this is just trying to take the pieces for the chain inside. The one part's a little larger that's connected to the ring. So just going to make one of these and select it. And just go ahead and position it and option and duplicate it. You could just keep drawing it with the line segment tool, but this makes sure that it's the exact same distance to it. Just rotate it, use the arrow keys to position it into place. Try to get all these wrapped around here. So you have all those selected. Then take the ellipse tool again, make the circle that goes in between the chain links. Try to find the midpoint of the circle, even though the scan's a little blurry. And then just option and duplicate these all across. You'll see they kind of stretch in. And the last one we can modify, though, just go behind that image. So they're all, select them all just by highlighting them with the selection box. Bring your stroke palette up. Just show options to this one. And you have the top piece, just increase the sizing of it to the scale. You can see the end caps of this, you can round them off. Okay, and keep in mind they're also everything is listed as a stroke. So you have the option to take the gradient editor, take a look at the library, just scroll right down to where the gradients are. And metals is probably the easiest one to give you enough variety of different shading. And you can add this to the swatches if you, whichever one you want to choose, or just go ahead and select them, make them large or small in the options panel so you can take a look at them. Here it is with the gradient on the stroke. And you can see that it kind of just highlights it going across. Grab the gradient editor. It's under window, just kind of showing it to you, placing it in there. You can see that it has listed in there a lot of the shading, lights, values, darks, everything that's listed in here, showing the stroke itself and the three options that you have going across. So it wraps itself straight with the path, circles around there, so you have that choice on the right hand side. So keeping it as a linear gradient, there's the fill and the stroke option. You can reverse it. Here's all the gradient pieces, so the tabs on the bottom of the color, you can click on them to move them. To add them, just drag them off the page. You can save this gradient just by clicking on the editor there. So all the different options coming again. This one clicks them all across, and this one follows the path. So that's the one, the third one to the right is the one that you'd want to use. You can take a look at it, maybe adjust it with the gradients. Choose a different one just to see what they look like. These are all presets, and you can customize your own. So it builds it up to here, steel, metal. And this is where you can force the base tone and the reflected light. Either choose from the color mixer or the swatches panel. Gives you that highlight. You can even, so just by dragging or moving these across, you can drop them off the gradient. Takes them out of there. That gives you that. So it's kind of thinking of it just like a drawing, how you would shade something as to how you would adjust these sliders to get your best impression there. Almost give it a dark outline there. And now you can see that the elliptical parts for the one chain link you want to put behind it. So just shift key and select all of these. You can go to object, group them together, and just modify and arrange them. Send them to the back. So now you have the keychain tapered across for that metallic part. This part just might make it a little bigger on that side there. So that's for the chain, and then for the actual emblem, just kind of adjust your settings. Just move some of these palettes out, and you can start off right with a rounded rectangle. Just use the arrow keys to adjust it. See if that lets that go. Yep. So trying to find the midpoint of it just to give it a easier way to lay it out. And it already has the preset of the first stroke. You can click on going with the pattern there. Same setting. If you like the highlight, save it. That makes it into your swatches panel. So you can adjust that. This one will make just a little thicker with the stroke. You can see that part. And just giving it a color for the inside of the fill. And bringing it up and also taking a look at some of the different tones that you can create with that gradient. This is a linear gradient. With the gradient editor, you can change it. Make it come from the left or right, top or bottom. Place that piece in there. Actually change the color right from the swatches panel right on the screen as you're selecting those images. And you can mix the color. This is the CMYK color palette. For that one. Changes it right there. And here you can drop it so it looks almost like it has a cast shadow without using any of the effects, just kind of selecting it like an inner glow, inner page there. Select all of this, group it together. Move this one element there. Hide the background, tab key there. And you can place your name in there. Just take the text tool, click on it. Don't draw a box, just click on there. Type out your name. And just modify this part up at the top. Just make sure to hold the shift key down, keep it in proportion. That'll give you that piece there. You can also choose the coloring for this one. Bring up the character palette. Click the show options bar. And now you can go inside and change the different fonts, see which one looks best. Place it on there. Just have it, make sure that's selected when you start to adjust them. Center it. This one you can also change some of the highlighting to it. Change some of the gradient. And kind of group it all together. You have the whole image, just kind of making a drop shadow onto this part. Let's see if this will work. And that'll give you the